Alright everybody, we're back. So we've gone through some of our testing phase here, and one of the things that doesn't work so well is the way I had the steering wheel adapter attached with these screwed in to the plastic, and then has a metal sleeve down in the center for the hub portion here. So what we're going to do, instead of the way we had it set up before there was a short bolt going from inside of this and down through to the stem that was tapped up to a M8 by 1.25. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go the whole way through the adapter and the original splined plastic piece into the stem so that that all sandwiches together, and then these bolts are basically just to hold it from rotating out one direction or another. So this will be the clamping force down through the whole thing into the stem, and these will just be location pins basically at this point. The problem I was having is the material on the bottom of this aluminum piece is too thin and was starting to crack on the bottom, causing the steering wheel to have extra movement in it. So what we're changing is, instead of having a bolt that was like this long just going into that last part, it'll sandwich the whole way through down in like that, and we just gotta spacer it correctly so that it will tension up before it bottoms out on the threads. So I may have to get a couple more washers for that, and then we can start putting the steering wheel and other stuff back on. So that should strengthen that part up. The other modifications I'm looking at doing are finding a way for these magnets to also have like a little area that they kind of clip into or can lock into, because when it's bouncing around, it's pretty strong. Like, you can almost open up the whole hood with the magnet, but when you get too many bumps at once, it starts rocking around and then lifts up. So I'm going to try to make a bit of a receiver tab that it can like lock and sit into behind it. The other option would be to get stronger magnets, but with the stronger magnets, they're also a larger diameter, so it would probably be coming partway off of the hood. So those are a couple of the upgrades that we're working on here. And the hood clearancing worked out great. That lower portion doesn't rub on the tires anymore. Our tire set up in the rear, running low pressure, and we have our emergency fire extinguisher if we need it. I may make a little rubber cap to cover the end of this, just so it doesn't potentially get filled up with mud or anything. And other than that, some of the things that we haven't finished up yet are the direct battery power cutoff. That still has to be wired in, which I think I'm going to put closer to the rear of this, and just have the kill switch so I can reach right behind me and just flip the tab and just shut it off. And that way we can still have our ignition switch set up in the front and not have too much stuff down by our feet here. So that looks like where we're at for now. I'll get that washer spacer set up for the steering wheel, and we'll go from there. So we'll be back in a few minutes. trails up a bit today. Try to get them looking a little nicer. Some of the brush kicked down too. Well, let's go back down the newer trail that we started off going up with, and we'll see if we can expand down that trail some, down to the little retaining pond that I got going down there. Lots of raspberry bushes coming in. A lot of tiny ones, and some wild strawberries too. Towards the end of July here. Or sorry, end of June. have to cut down one of these, widen this part up a little bit. It's a little too tight in here. Part too. Take a wider turn coming into it, or cut that smaller tree down. It's fun to have the obstacle, but it's also fun to be able to actually run through and not have to just crawl through this stuff. Be able to go a little faster. We can idle it in second gear, just kind of rock bounce it as we go along. But there's some parts where it tips and tilts a little more than I'd like it to, like going over some of these logs, which I'm sure after I ride over it a couple times, it'll be broken enough to take them out of the way, take them apart. But for right now, we'll stick with crawling. Might have to trim back some of that, but nothing too bad. Just had a rain, so everything's a little mucky back here. So this video, we got you back on the head mount camera instead of trying to hold the extended mount like last video. Hopefully this is a little bit smoother of a take with this setup. Last one didn't come out quite as good as I liked, but I also try not to look around too quickly because I know it blurs the it'll blur the image sometimes, trying to record in HD and with the frame rate, so try to keep steady camera view, but if I gotta look, make sure nobody's coming, then I'm still probably gonna have a few quick head turns, but hopefully this is still a decent view for everybody here to watch. Come back out by the road. I gotta remember which way I went. I had a little cut through here for the snowmobile. I think it was this way. Oh, more dead branches. Now the apple tree's in the way. I gotta stump over here. Well, it was a short video this time, but hopefully everybody enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Maybe get into some more stuff, make a little mud run for next time. See you guys later. Bye.